Most people think building wealth comes down to picking the right stocks, but that's a very tiny part of the game. The truth is, the difference between an average investor and $1 million investors come down to a few habits. And I promise you that you have probably never heard of habit number 4. Today, I'm breaking down the 4 investing habits that help me build real wealth and why 99% of the investors don't do these. Let's get into it. Habit number 1. I only invest in what I understand. $1 million investors don't chase hype. We chase clarity. If I don't understand the business model, how the company makes money, or what their long-term strategy is, I simply don't touch it. There are thousands of stocks out there. You don't need to gamble on the ones you can't explain in one sentence. Clarity beats complexity every time. If my son comes to me and he asks me, "Dad, what do you think this company can do?" or "What do you think this company does?" If I'm not able to explain him like a 10-year-old would understand in one simple line, that means it's too complex. Sometimes there are companies that everything is out there, everything is very clear. You go for it, you understand what they do. You understand their business model. You understand how they make money. You understand how they spend money. You understand the cost of acquisition per customer if it's a customer-oriented company. If it's a product-oriented company, then what is the cost of acquisition for that product? I'm not going to go in detail, but remember this. If you are not clear on the business model, if you're not clear on how they make money, that's probably too complex for you to understand. Move on. There are plenty of companies in the market. My habit number 2. I stay invested no matter what the market is doing. And I'm talking about quality companies. This one took me years to learn, and I went through ups and downs, basically where I got emotional and I sold and I regretted it. And then next thing I know that I'm like, why did I sell? I didn't need the money. I immediately basically went and bought back more if the price was right. So this is a real habit that took me many, many years to master. If you zoom out, the market has gone through wars, recessions, crashes, pandemic, and it still trends up over time. The people who get crushed are the ones who panic sell, overreact to the news cycle, or try to time every little dip. As Warren Buffett famously said, time in the market beats timing the market every time. $1 million investors stay invested. We don't get shaken out. We let the time do the heavy lifting. And you have seen it time and again on the portfolios that if you keep the stock for longer time, it keeps on going as long as the company is performing well. Habit number 3, take 3 E's out: emotion, emergency, and ego. I treat investing like a system, not an emotion. I don't invest based on how I feel. I invest based on a system. Consistent contributions. System number 1 for me. I contribute a substantial amount of my income every month, regardless of what the market is doing. I'm going to share with you in my next video my portfolio that I have invested $500 a week for every week from last 3 years. And I will show you what that portfolio is worth today. Rules of buying. I buy what I believe in and what I understand. Rules of selling. I only sell if I have lost faith in the company or their management. Rules for risk. If I am down 50% on a company, but if I still like the company, I stay invested and I buy more. And if I'm up 10% on a company and I don't like the company, I get out. If I'm down 10% on a company, I don't like the company, I get out. And 0 emotional decisions. This is hard, and sometimes even the best lose on this one. But once you master it, then you can play a different league. And this is where most investors fail. They react. $1 million investors, we execute. Habit number 4. This is the most unique habit that I created when I was in my 20s. And maybe somebody else is also doing it or have done it. I'm not aware of it. And in 20s, when I was just starting out in my mid-20s, I think I was 27 or 25 when I bought my first stocks, I doubled the pot. So what does it mean, doubling the pot? When I first started investing, I had a simple formula. If I go out to buy something and I don't need it, for example, extra pair of sneakers, another pair of jeans, a watch, could be anything, a fancy dinner. I'm talking about splurge items, not everyday living items. Could be a fancy dinner with my girlfriend, That time, now my wife, taking her out. Anytime if I would go out or spend money on splurging on myself or on anybody else, I promise myself that I will double the amount and put it in the market in my favorite stocks. So if I'm buying a pair of shoes for $100, I will put $200 in Apple. If I'm spending $50 at a dinner, I will buy $100 worth of Tesla. And that continued, or that method I followed for many, many years until I started investing more than I could spend. And that habit alone has taken my portfolio to the next level. So if you build these 4 habits into your investing routine, I promise you, you will separate yourself from 99% of the people in the market. Wealth is built quietly, consistently, and through habits that most people ignore. Stay informed, stay consistent, stay focused on the big picture. Rest is all noise. And remember, massive results come from simple habits. Stay invested, stay happy. Until next time, you all have a sparkling day.